What's up everybody, my name is Kiefer and tonight we will be going over the best tips and ideas for starting off your Wuthering Waves account. The first and one of the most important tips is this game works like Genshin Impact. Do not ever spend your astrite, this game's versions of primo gems, on standard banner pulls or on stamina refreshes. You will get standard banner pulls just for playing the game, even as a free-to-play, and you will get all of the standard banner 5 stars as you play the game over time and lose 50/50s on the event banners. It is never worth it to spend these on the standard banner, especially because you start the game off immediately getting 2 free 5 stars. I know that third 5 star is tempting because you have the guarantee, but I promise that you will get to it without spending any of your astrite. Save them for the event banners. Now, as I mentioned, since the game just launched, you get 3 guaranteed 5-star characters when you make your account. The first one is a random 5-star you get from the 40 free pulls in your inbox. Make sure you do this banner before the free guarantee, so that way you don't accidentally pull the same 5-star twice. Then you get a free guarantee and a second guarantee within the next 80 pulls on your standard banner. Now, I'm usually someone who is against save scumming and wouldn't advocate for it. However, this is a gacha game. That means min-maxing your account from the beginning is the financially responsible thing to do. And so I'd recommend that if you either don't like the 5 stars you pick, or if you didn't like what you got from the random pool, then you create a new account and just start over. If you skip the cutscenes, you get back to the point where you unlock the warp in like 5 minutes, so it's definitely worth it to just re-roll your entire account and get a good starting group of characters. And technically, since you do get 20 free premium pulls from your inbox as well, you technically could just make new accounts until you pull jinyang on the event banner and those 20, but I think that would be a little bit ridiculous. Now, since this is a gacha game, every character is able to be good, and you can play pretty much every character as a hyper character. However, I would highly recommend taking Verena as one of your 5 stars if you don't get her from the 40 free pools, as her healing early game is super valuable and makes everything go a lot more smooth. However, if you didn't get Verena and don't want to waste one of your 2 guarantees on her, you'll be perfectly fine, as Baija is still a very capable healer. You'll just need to be better at soulslike combat than if you had Verena. With that being said, don't be super hesitant about which character is meta and who you should be using for your main DPS. Do all the trials, figure out which character is the most fun for you, and build them as your hyper character. The exception to this is Verena, because while she is incredibly helpful early game, I genuinely don't know if it's possible to build her as a hyper carry, even if you are a whale. Now, one of the biggest draws of Wuthering Waves is its combat, which is a lot more in-depth than games like Genshin. This game allows a lot of animation canceling that allows you to use strong and powerful abilities without interrupting your rotation, allowing you to trigger an attack or an echo like the Animo monkey, and then quickly switching to another character and continuing your rotation while the monkey finishes its attack on its own. Wuthering Waves also introduced a system known as intro and outro skills, which are abilities that you can charge by attacking and using your standard skills during a fight, and then switching to another character when their intro skill is charged. These are typically big AoE attacks that do a large amount of damage and act almost as a mini ult. This game has super in-depth combat mechanics, and I'll have a video specifically on the combat out soon, as well as individual videos for the combat specifics of each character. But for now, I'll just say treat it like a Souls game with Genshin Impact characters and you'll do great. Next, I'd recommend you complete the main story quests whenever you have them available to you. When you first start, you'll be able to play the story quest for a while, and then eventually you'll get to the point where you need to level up before you can continue the story, and at that point, you can go and do other things. It gives you a great amount of character XP and other rewards, and as someone who has been catching up on 3 years of Genshin Impact's main story quest, you'll regret not doing this later. Next, you want to level up your databank as fast as possible. This should be one of your main priorities when starting out, as it will unlock the higher tier rarities of echoes, allowing you stronger abilities with more substats. Additionally, the world bosses dropping echoes is an unrelated mechanic to the boss's actual drops. This means once you have the 5-star rarities of echoes available to you at level 15, you can fight a boss, not spend the stamina to claim its rewards, wait the 1 or 2 minutes for it to respawn, and then fight it again. And then you can keep doing this because you're not using the stamina to claim the rewards until you get the 5-star rarity of that boss's echo. This gives you a reason to fight every enemy you come across, as you need the databank XP from collecting new echoes and the different rarities of those echoes to unlock the higher tiers. Just like most gacha games, you will have a much better time playing Wuthering Waves if you conserve your level up materials until you get better characters and better echoes. Now, with the 2 guaranteed 5 stars, you probably have the character you want to be your hypercarry already, which means you should invest all your materials into that character until they are as maxed as you can make them at the moment, including their best weapon and echo, before moving on to the other 2 support or sub DPS characters you're using. If you level up all of your characters at the same time, you'll hit the artificial boundary of not having enough character mats to level up, while also not being strong enough to progress farther, enticing you to spend more money. You can avoid this entirely if you simply conserve your resources and manage them properly. The same idea applies to echoes. You probably want to hold off at least until you get some better purple echoes before using materials to level them up. That being said, prioritize your character levels and ascensions over these. Now once you get towards the end game, you will eventually need multiple teams like in Genshin. However, unlike Genshin, in wuwa you need 3 teams, and while you build your 2nd and 3rd team, you want to follow the same idea of building up your hypercarry, including the weapon and echoes, before building up the other characters on that team. Finally, I want to end this video by saying one more time that this is a gacha game. Don't fall for the FOMO, don't pull for something just because other people are. Do the trials, test out the characters, and decide who you like to play. Even if you do plan on spending money on this game, doing so in a smart way allows you to get more for the same amount of money. Don't waste astrite on the standard banner or on stamina refresh. Don't pull on event banners if you don't really want that character. This game is designed to make you feel like you need every weapon and every character. You don't. And even if you do get all the characters, you don't need to max out all of them at once. Play smart, don't fall for the predatory tactics, and you will have a much better time playing this game. I love this game so far, even with all the bugs, and I have high hopes for what this game will bring, both for itself and for the Genshin Impact community in the form of real competition. If you enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great time playing.